up, everybody? Welcome to our new episode of SCNS Live, the super cool nerd show. Thank you for joining us for another week of nerdetry, pop culture news, and probably going to be some hurt feelings on this show tonight. I'm just letting y'all know. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us out there in the super cool nerd nation. I am Jason the X, but my friends here to the bottom corner over here, that's Cass, and I only went to her because I'm pointing that way.
Good evening, everyone.
There is Ricardo.
Yo, what up, baby?
And down there in the basement, there's Cora. She's multitasking. Hello. She's literally cooking while we're doing this. It's not that kind of show.
But I wanted to make brownies. Everybody loves brownies. And look,
I love brownies.
I'm even using the good cocoa powder.
Ooh.
Anyway.
How much of it? Oh, okay.
I'm so jealous.
Brownies. You know, hey, wait a minute. Hold up. I had a birthday. Where were my brownies?
Damn.
I mean, I can definitely make you some tomorrow, and then you can come pick up fresh, warm brownies.
You know, other
Jason,
people...
you got bomb-ass cupcakes.
Yeah, those cupcakes were bomb.
Yeah,
also,
you got the good cupcakes. I don't want to hear that.
And Near got me a full set of those new Ghostbuster figures, which I didn't expect that. That's awesome. And they're actually not too bad. But, you know.
Did you eat them?
Did I eat the
Ghostbusters?
Cupcakes?
No, the Ghostbuster figures. Did you eat them?
No.
Oh, yeah, did you eat them?
No, I cannot eat plastic toys.
No, you eat the Ghostbusters
not with that attitude.
And then display the cupcakes, right? On your shelf?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me.
So angry.
Yeah.
I actually put up some more shelves in here, so I don't know how y'all are going to feel about that when you finally come back to the studio. But there'll be more room for D&D.
Hey.
Are you sure with all those new shelving?
They're on the wall. It's not on the floor. What do you want?
Perfection.
And everyone is going to have a mic for D&D too, so that's going to be great.
Ooh.
You know, it's an upgrade. So anyway.
My character appreciates that.
Yeah, I was talking to one of our clan mates, but anyway, it's been I don't know. I'll start out what I've been doing for the week. I finished Assassin's Creed Origins finally. I'm just going.
Hey, do you like it?
I loved it actually. I'm going back through and just murdering, as you do.
That's what you do if you want to 100% it. If you want to platinum.
Also for retro, I bought Streets of Rage 4. A friend of the show, Tech Force, hipped me to this game, and it's an old school Genesis game, and it's really good. I might stream a little bit of it. I streamed a little bit on our Twitch channel of Assassin's Creed Origins, just going through killing things and having a good time. So it's a good game. Rick, what have you been doing with yourself this week?
I've been actually changing up my workout a little bit. I've been riding my bike, and I've started hitting the punching bag.
I saw that.
Taking out my aggression on that, so on my pent-up anger and everything. Also picked up the new Hunger Games prequel when it's basically how Snow... The thing is, though, like, nobody knew this came out. And I'm like, guys, they announced it last year. But I guess the darkness has just completely erased everyone's memories. So I've been doing that and working. So
cool.
Reading and working out because I need to lose this runaway weight.
Cass, you?
You want to talk about progress on games? I rescued all the grubs and I awoke the dream nail in Hollow Knight. I'm very excited about that. I have, I think, 37 of the 40 charms in the game. And I started in on the White Palace, which is literally my nightmare. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Okay,
what game is this?
This is
Hollow Knight.
What I'm not understanding is Red Dead Redemption 2 was free on Xbox. And I'm not hearing anything about that. Are you not playing Red Dead?
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I am going to play Red Dead, and I am excited about Red Dead.
You live Red Dead. You don't play it. You live it.
Like, Hollow Knight is where I am right now,
okay.
And I don't see myself exiting the train anytime soon until I'm trying to... I don't know what the platinum version of Xbox is. I'm trying to 100% it.
Cool.
I'm very excited.
What about you? What you been up to this week?
Well, of course, I've been playing lots of Final Fantasy 14.
Her religion.
They actually released an event, and they do this every time before a new patch drops. So this tells me that the new patch will be dropping pretty soon, where they have things called irregular Moogle tomes. And essentially, this is their way to help newbies get people to actually run dungeons with them, because you can only get them through lower level dungeons, and you can trade them in for cool things like mounts and items. You can get faster mount speeds in areas as well. They always change up what mounts they have, and currently they have some that you can only get from doing Savage raids. So I'm going to be farming those a lot this weekend because I don't want to do Savage raids. I enjoy having sanity.
Cool. All right.
That's mostly what I've been doing.
Keeping busy while we deal with the creeping darkness, and I won't say what the proper name is because YouTube don't like that. So anyway,
What have you been up to, Jason?
I just said what I've been up to: playing video games and cleaning the garage, which is fun.
There you go.
It's fun. Anyway, so let's go ahead and kick this thing off with some super cool nerd news. All right, we start super cool nerd news off, and unfortunately, it will start with a sad note. This Sunday, WWE wrestler Shad Gaspard was unfortunately he passed away due to riptide currents in California. His last actions were ensuring that his 10-year-old son was rescued by the lifeguard that was responding. Shad Gaspard was not just a wrestler. He also was a comic book creator. His comic Assassin and Son, which was announced in September. He was teaming with this with his name was Mark Kabani, but you knew him as Muhammad Hassan in the WWE. They were writing a comic book. He also has done a lot of acting. And he's also done a lot of mocap work, as he was the body and mocap actor for Kratos in God of War. He is survived by his wife and through his actions, his son. Shad Gaspard actually was not just a wrestler. This man was a literal hero. He actually stopped an armed robbery at a gas station in Florida, unarmed, back in 2016. He was on the road with his tag team partner. They went inside to get a drink, and a man approached him, and they pulled a gun on him. But he pushed the man halfway across the store, I assume, and took his gun. So yeah, he wasn't just a wrestler. This man did a lot of things, and he's very talented, very creative. The outpouring of love that I've seen from people in his community, of all the things they've said about him, has been very heartfelt. He was 39 years old, far too young to pass on the way he did, and he will be missed. So I know you watched a lot of WWE with Crime Time, Ricardo.
Yeah, I just remember there was a thing that were in London one time, and it was back when it was Shad and JTG, and I mean they were Crime Time, and they had tickets to Raw, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H were trying to get into Raw, and Triple H was trying to talk to him, and Shad and JTT were like, "What?" And then HBK's like, "Wait, I speak jive," and they start like talking to each other, and then they like, "Oh wait, same time," and then like they trade tickets and money at the same time. It was, but no, I mean Shad and Crime Time together, him and JTG were an awesome tag team. But you're right, he was much more than just a wrestler. And
he had some very good acting chops, of course, being a wrestler and character. It's certainly a shame, and
he'll be missed. I've seen some clips of him when he was out in the independents and stuff, and just making the fans laugh and make sure they had a good time. And I've seen all the WWE wrestlers that wrestled with him or were his friend, or even wrestlers that he didn't wrestle with necessarily. Like Sonya Deville posted a picture of Crime Time and Mandy Rose and herself and they just looked like they're having a ton of fun. And I am very sad that he's gone, but at the same time, his last actions were that
I was actually surprised at how much he had
Uh,
actually done. He was in Harley Quinn on Birds of Prey.
yeah.
So, and I knew I followed some stunt workers from that movie, and they had nothing but good things to say about him. This is a tragedy, and he'll be missed. I can't talk about it much more because it was pretty hard to read, especially his final acts. Truly a man to be admired and remembered. So,
Rest in peace, Shad. We're gonna miss you, man.
all right. So, Rick, please give us what was probably the biggest news that just dropped.
Okay. So yesterday there was a virtual screening of Man of Steel with Zack Snyder doing a Q&A afterwards. And it was during this Q&A that he dropped a bombshell. In 2021, HBO Max will debut the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. That is right after 3 long years of asking for this film, of people doing hashtag release the Snyder cut after Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ben Affleck, all the other actors, they're all like, release the Snyder cut. It's finally happening. It is coming to HBO Max on 2021. No real set date other than the year. And they're not quite sure how they're going to release it yet. It's either going to be a 4-hour cut or 6 chapters. So, yeah, that's the thing. I'm super excited about it. To completely finish the film, they're bringing back people that worked on the original film. They're bringing back composers for it. They're finishing up some post-production effects, and it's going to cost anywhere between $20 to $30 million. They're bringing back some of the actors to re-record dialogue. They're not shooting new scenes. They're just re-recording dialogue for it. So, yeah, I'm super stoked for this. And I know there's some people out there that are not very happy about this. And they're like, oh, you don't deserve it. This is that. Well, you know what? Got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Cass, you want to put in any positive thoughts, or do you want to Oreo cookie the end of this with a good thing?
It's up to you.
Okay, I could care less. I honestly, the campaign for Release the Snyder Cut has been one of the most annoying things that I've ever had to experience. For people asking for something that technically does not exist, and DC kowtow, just, okay, sure, we'll go ahead and release that after we actually make it. They're going to waste a lot of time and money on this when there's so much more they could be doing. And essentially, they're asking for a do-over, which, whatever. Now, granted, I saw a couple things that piqued my interest a little bit. Hearing that only about a quarter of what we saw in Justice League was Zack Snyder, who's not a great director by any means, but a quarter of what we saw was what he wanted. Okay, I'm a little more interested, and I guess, but now they want to make this super long this movie or TV series. Just move on. Move on with your life. Please. Give me another movie. Give me Shazam.
You are getting another movie.
They're not halting production on anything in order to do this. That's just not happening. They're not moving on. I'm excited for this, mostly because of Batman versus Superman. Batman versus Superman was a bad movie. And then we watched, Ricardo, we watched it. We watched the Snyder, essentially the Snyder cut of Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And it was a good movie. It was well planned out. There was a lot of interesting character development, and things that didn't make sense in the story made sense due to the scenes that Snyder included in that cut, which was the extended cut, essentially the director's cut of the movie. The potential to have that kind of improvement brought to this movie is very, very exciting to me, especially when you consider the fact that the people involved believe in that version of the movie. I trust the actors. I trust the people that worked on the production to understand the differences that were made and to understand what happened in between the Snyder version of the movie and the Whedon version of the movie. There were some obvious tonal shifts in the movie due to Joss Whedon coming on board and him having a completely different style than Zack Snyder. And while Zack Snyder's his style is very dramatic, I think that works for Justice League, and I don't think the flippant style of Joss Whedon, I don't think it worked very well. So I'm very excited about this.
The other thing, though, while it is technically the movie is Zack Snyder's Justice League movie, for it's more Joss Whedon, and that's not really, it wasn't his vision for it. It wasn't what he had in mind for a Justice League movie, and now we're getting his artistic direction for that movie. He's getting to be able to, like, hey, this is my actual baby, and he's getting a chance to finally show it to the world. And I'm very excited about this. I'm with Cass on this. I kind of understand WB kind of trying to stand their ground and say, hey, no, this is the movie we wanted to put out, the Joss Whedon cut. I'll give them props. You know, they tried standing their ground. They're like, no, this, because honestly though, if companies listen too much to the fans, you get stuff like season 6 through 15 of Supernatural.
I would be very nervous if fans got to vote on what happens in this cut of Justice League. I would be very nervous if fans got to decide what happens in this cut of Justice League. I would be very nervous if fans decided if fans recast Wonder Woman. That's not what happened. What happened is the director wanted to do something, and the director is king in movies.
Yeah.
At least should be.
I'm all for it. I already have HBO Max pre-ordered. I'm excited for it. I cannot wait for 2021. It's going to be great. And we're all going to watch it at some point. And in the end, yes, you know you are, Jason.
I'm not going back. No.
That's fair. You don't have to.
I haven't watched
Okay.
that version of Batman v Superman. I'm like, no, you already had your shot.
No one's making you engage. You don't have to watch anything.
I'm not. I've already been there. Move on.
Okay.
So
Cool.
But yeah, so that was the big news of the week for fans being happy and whatnot. But
I will say one thing about it. I will say one thing about it though that I did not like about this whole thing, that it did get toxic. I will say that the release of Snyder's Cut, the fans did get toxic. I will say that. Like, I will admit that. I personally didn't. I was like, we have this cut, awesome. I hope they release it. But I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on the nets just saying, hey, do this or die or whatever. You know, the fans that were toxic, you know what? Shame on you for being. So I will give you that this did turn toxic for a while.
That plays a lot into how I feel about it too. It's like
It's the 10% rule, right?
Like I have not had the, like, you ever seen a kid throwing a fit in a store and the parents are just sitting there letting it happen? That's how I felt with.
It's the 10% rule, Jason.
And you hate
10% of people are assholes.
So
those people are almost always going to be the most vocal. Did you know 89% of people don't think that we should be forcing the country to open? Yeah, no, it's 10% of people are the worst.
Yeah,
but those are always the ones you hear about.
You don't get your damn candy. Now get up off the floor before I start spanking you in this store. Get up.
Exactly. Please do not. Yeah, like I don't want to be. I don't want to be roped in with those people. I don't want to be put in a group with the people that were like, if you don't give us the Snyder cut, then we're boycotting all movies like that. No, that's stupid. But I'm glad that it happened. But I'm not going to be the one yelling at a McDonald's employee because they don't have any more Szechuan sauce. Okay, I'm not that guy.
God.
Hey, that Szechuan sauce was important. I
Two
step up and
Not-
yelling at them.
Not for the not
to
for that.
extent. That was so unnecessary.
And very, very cringe.
It was so bad.
All right. Well, let's move on because we can have a bigger discussion because I can talk about all the reasons I can.
Do you want to talk about other Batman news, my dude?
Well, before that's more television. I did want to talk about
That's fair.
a trailer that is dropping that I'm actually excited for.
You want to talk about cringe, though?
Okay, go ahead.
So, we got our first trailer for the new Christopher Nolan movie, starring what is his first name? John David Washington,
Yes,
I think is
John
his
David
name.
Yes.
John David Washington. I'm so excited. Christopher Nolan movie finally has a black character. I'm super excited. It's going to be so good. We saw the first trailer during the Rise of Skywalker, and we're going to see the second trailer on Fortnite. Fortnite is doing an event. They're doing one of their party. What is it called? Party Royale mode. And that is where they were releasing the second trailer of Tenet.
It did get
on
released.
Fortnite. That it premiered on Fortnite. Fortunately, it's already on YouTube, so you don't have to watch it there. But yes, it premiered at 8 o'clock Eastern, I believe, in Party Royale mode of Fortnite.
What the
I
hell?
can't believe I'm alive right now. I can't believe this is happening.
Would you prefer for it to be an Overwatch?
Yes,
Overwatch doesn't have any kind of
Overwatch is a good game.
way
You can
to
stand on
do
it being
this.
a good game.
Overwatch has some pride still left in the game. They wouldn't do this.
Also-
Fortnite,
Like releasing a trailer in an MMO of any kind or any kind of like online game or whatever is completely unnecessary and alienates like a crap ton of the audience that would actually want to see it.
I'm
Like-
so tired.
Yeah.
That being said, like I said, it premiered on Fortnite, but it's already on YouTube.
And it looks
So
really
you
good.
don't.
Okay,
I haven't been able to watch it, but
I'm excited for John David Washington because it's. I mean, I'm gonna.
so good.
I know it's like I'm getting because Denzel is. Let's face it, he's getting on in his years. He's gonna stop doing all the cool. He's gonna stop eventually. So it seems like we're just getting more of a Washington, and I'm happy with that for some reason.
Although honestly, I don't think Denzel could have pulled off Black Klansman. I really don't.
no,
and
I'm
John
not-
David
no,
Washington
I
absolutely nailed
I
that
don't want to
role.
get them
So
confused like that. They are two totally different actors. But
okay,
they
yeah.
are two very good actors.
Okay, I am gonna compare this dropping during a battle royale thing for Fortnite, like kind of like debuting a trailer during the Super Bowl, because think about it, it's an esports thing, and eventually that's where it's gonna go. This could be the beginning of something that is gonna happen more in the future, and I get it. It's Fortnite, like the hell, but
Okay, I will say this. Most Christopher Nolan movies are PG-13, and most people that watch the Super Bowl are over 13. That's not true in Fortnite. So most of these people can't watch this movie because they're like 6 years old.
I get that, but think about it though. It's like, okay, cool. You know what? Maybe Fortnite was the ones that say, hey, we'll take a chance on doing this, and they're the first ones to do it.
Okay, I understand that. You realize that there are Super Bowls of esports, right?
I get that. Yes,
Like
I know
people
that. But I'm saying,
gathering and watching esports.
yes, I know that, but I'm saying this is the first one to actually debut a trailer. And maybe the others were like, no, we don't want to do that. But I was like, hey, guess what? I mean, I'm just ballparking it here. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe people signed up for Fortnite to watch this. I doubt it, but you never know.
I don't have a problem with mainstream culture making its way into video game culture, even into an MMO like that. I have a problem with it being Fortnite because I hate Fortnite. It's just me being petty. This has nothing to do with my respect for esports or for video game culture. This has to do with the fact that I don't like Fortnite.
It's the future, and Fortnite was the first one to do it.
You know, confession, I've actually been playing a lot of Fortnite, but mainly because...
Is it with your child?
No. That, and also to creep into rooms that he's in and kill him.
See, but you're still playing
You've
with your son.
Sniping your kid?
Oh, Shh. under a different profile name too.
I can't even be mad. I'm just flabbergasted. I can't
Ooh, good use of that word.
Yeah, under a different profile name too. It's fun.
I can't believe you've been stream sniping your child.
Oh my god, I love this. I love every bit.
Is when I get him and I can hear him scream from the living room. And then I leave the lobby. So, because I don't want him to come back here and like catch me and be like, "Are you playing Fortnite?" Crap, I'm caught. Anyway, this is how I have fun during quarantine.
You know what? That's fair.
This is the 2020 version of a ding dong ditch, I feel like.
I have more movie news.
Hold on. Hang on a second. Cora, you got some movie news for us too. Go
Oh, yeah,
ahead.
she does.
I do not have movie news.
What about the one that's on Hulu?
That is not a movie.
It's not?
No, it's a series.
Okay then. Ricardo, what's the movie?
Did you get Parasite mixed up again?
No. It was,
I think you did.
We'll get to that. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm actually very excited about this because this was released yesterday. So Game of Thrones alums Jason Momoa and Peter Dinklage are teaming up for a movie. No, it's not twins, though I'm still waiting for that remake. Legendary Studios yesterday closed a deal with director Max Barbakow to direct a film called Good, Bad, and Undead. The premise of this film is that Peter Dinklage will play Van Helsing, last in a long line of vampire hunters, and he develops an uneasy partnership with the vampire, who's played by Jason Momoa, who has taken a vow to never kill again. Together, they run a scam from town to town where Van Helsing pretends to vanquish the vampire for money. But when a massive bounty is put on the vampire's head, everything in this dangerous world full of monsters and magic is now after them. The intent is a midnight run in a Bram Stoker world. So I'm super excited for this because it is Peter Dinklage and Jason Momoa, and those two together is gold.
Okay, so I just got one thing to say.
Okay.
I was already attracted to Jason Momoa in an unhealthy fashion, and I didn't need my vampire addiction to also be mixed with Jason Momoa because now I'm not going to be able to control myself.
So I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to the Twilight news. Okay, so
No.
turns out Stephanie Meyer had a problem with vampires of color. She only wanted people of color to play bad guy vampires. So I'm really excited, as another middle finger to Stephanie Meyer, that Jason Momoa is a vampire of color.
Oh my god. Can you imagine being that blatantly racist?
Like,
So for
she
those
was
that
like,
don't,
but they have pale skin. You're like, that.
so for those that don't know, Max Barbakow recently directed a film with Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti called Palm Springs, which set the Sundance Film Festival acquisition record of $22 million. Deal by Neon and Hulu back in January. So he's coming off something big. I really don't know much about him, but I mean, it's Dinklage and it's Momoa. I'm all in. Like,
When you first sent this picture, I was like, what's up with this? Why is the dude and Dinklage on a couch together? And I was like, oh, that's just
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, okay, good. I don't think so. All right, so let's go ahead and keep running with some television news. Hannah, what you got? Core, sorry.
All right. I will start with anime streaming news because I just want to show things off. So back in the early 2000s, there was a show that ran in America on WB called Cardcaptor Sakura. Where this book comes from. And Netflix has announced that starting on June 1st, they will finally be streaming Cardcaptor Sakura in all of its glory. Now, the thing to keep in mind is I don't know, or we are not aware if it's going to have the sub currently. However, they have made it painfully clear they will at least have the Animax dub. So not the dick dub that came out originally, which was very awkward and bad. The name of the company was DIC. It was Dick. I think their thing was Deek. I'm like, no, that's Dick.
They say Dick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's Dick. But
Thank
it is
you for
the
clarification.
but it will at least have the Animax dub on Netflix. They may have the subtitle or the sub version of the original Japanese voices either later, or it'll probably be part of the release as well. I mean, they do that with 90% of their anime anyways, so I don't see why not. But if you need an anime that's just really cute, really fun, and is all around just a good pick-me-up, this is definitely one to do it. You have your main character, Sakura. She's a middle schooler who is the most adorable child. I love her so much. Basically, she has to find the Clow cards and return them to their card state. She kind of lets her best friend know about this, and her best friend's immediate reaction is, "We're turning you into a magical girl." And she films her doing all of these things and makes her these frilly adorable dresses that are known in the show, and kind of makes her wear them while she does her stuff. And it's so cute and really wholesome. It's another creation by Clamp, so if you're used to anything by Clamp, you know exactly what you're getting into as far as their cutesy kid stuff.
So apparently Ricardo's a fan of this show too, right?
I loved this show as a kid on the 90s. This was one of my introductions to other anime other than Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
I wonder if Shazam got some inspiration from this, because as soon as Billy gets his powers, Jack Dylan Grazer dresses him up and films him doing all these things. So I'm wondering if Shazam got a little bit of their inspiration from this show.
It's possible. It's probably more likely just a coincidence, because I think Cardcaptor Sakura came out after Shazam, but also the company that made Cardcaptor Sakura, Clamp, they did start off their business basically by doing doujinshi, which are fan comics.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe. I don't remember all of their fan comics, and there are some that should never see the light of day. But
true.
Oh no, it's true, and we're not going to get into that. That's another show.
Well, since you want to bring up anime news, I actually have some anime news as well.
So do I.
Classic one.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, Core, you like Gundam, right?
Oh, of course.
You know, and there's always a chance for properties to tie in with products, for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, I can't believe I'm reading this. A company called King Oscar Sardines is teaming with Gundam, and they're going to put Gundam character Char as Navel's face on sardine cans. This item has sold out and was the #1 selling item on Amazon Japan this week. It will, hold on, I didn't put my picture up. Hang on. It will not be resold. Please look at that picture. King Oscar
Oh.
Sardines. There is char on the packaging. And just to put the icing on this sardine cake, these are chardines.
No, 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 no. It was bad enough that they put Char's face on fucking sardines. Oh, there goes our one. Sorry.
So
Um,
there is a 30-second
no.
commercial, by the way, which I will link to in our description below. Yes, Lord, yes, go watch this. I honestly, and the reason also, if you didn't buy them on Amazon Japan, unfortunately, they will not be restocking the chardines as they are. So
I kind of want to try to find one. That is the most unique collectible.
they put char from Gundam on the side of sardines. And not even like a new Gundam series, the classic Gundam series.
I
So,
mean, I
this-
guess
this
old
is-
people are the only ones that are going to eat sardines anyway.
Apparently, there's people that are like, yeah, I'll eat that. So
If you could, would you get a package of this?
yeah,
No.
probably, I would get it just to have it in my hands and look at it.
Cass?
I don't know what any of you people are talking about, so probably not.
I guess it boils down to, would you eat sardines?
Yeah.
No.
There we go.
All right.
If it was salmon.
So, Cass, you said you had some
Oh,
anime
go put some
news.
sushi right now.
Go ahead. I'll stop
Yes.
with my poor jokes and
My
shocked.
very
Go for it.
important anime news is that I started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
oh,
Yeah, buddy.
Kat and I started it. We're like 5 or 6 episodes in. We got to the very handsome Earthbender. That's how far we are. That's my anime news.
It is on
Okay,
Netflix.
Cora,
If you have
please.
not binged this, get on it.
Cora, please continue with the anime news.
All right. In the anime news, we have another horror-based anime coming out in October. This one goes by the name of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's based off of the manga by Gege Akutami. I really hope I pronounced that correctly. They released the trailer for the anime to it was Wednesday, I believe, and it looks like everything I want in a horror series.
Why is there a hand with a mouth on it?
That I don't know, and we'll have to watch to find out. But to give a synopsis of the manga itself, Viz Media does have this, or I'm sorry, Manga Plus has this published by Viz. For some strange reason, Yuji Itadori, the main character, despite his insane athleticism, would rather just hang out with the occult club. However, he soon finds out that the occult is as real as it gets when when his fellow club members are attacked. Meanwhile, the mysterious Megumi Fujiguro is tracking down a special grade cursed object, and his search leads him to Itadori.
So
Which the cursed object looks like a really weird finger with faces on it, so there's that as well. Cool. Awesome. It honestly looks really interesting. I'll have to send you the trailer, Jason, to link in the description as well,
okay.
because I highly recommend it. The trailer is pretty good. It's not like over the top like Parasites, but it's good.
Oh boy, yeah. And on that, I've been watching Parasite this week, and it's got a lot of eyes and mouths on hand. No, good. I'm waiting for this to go totally tragic, but I'll get more into that later. So there is you got one more for anime. Go ahead and knock it out. We'll move on to some television news.
All right. This one is not technically anime, though it is based off of one, kind of. If you were a girl in the late 90s, early 2000s that loved shoujo manga, I'm sure all of you remember the anthology Shoujo Beat. Now, I collected Shonen Jump instead, but I did secretly really want Shoujo Beat. And it was all because I really liked the manga Absolute Boyfriend. I was too embarrassed to actually read it, because it is like the epitome of like romance drama and like for kids version of a romance novel you could ever have. And I was embarrassed, but I wanted to read it. Well, in 2014, there was a K-drama that was made for it. Of course there was. They aged up the characters to be more like adults, which made that a lot easier to handle. And it was okay. It wasn't too bad. I didn't watch much of it because I don't like crying. And we all know K-dramas make you cry. But I kind of missed my chance on actually catching up on the series. Hulu is coming in clutch for me on June 8th when they will release the streaming for the Absolute Boyfriend K-drama. Oh boy. I'm excited, but also very ashamed of myself.
You should be.
In the Korean version of Absolute Boyfriend, the lead, Kim Ha-neul, is not a teenager, but nearly a 30-year-old woman who is a stylist at a beauty salon. She is betrayed by her first love, who becomes a successful movie star overnight. Feeling betrayed, she resorts to ordering a robot to be her ideal boyfriend, which ends up being her true love.
Wow. Okay.
And that's exactly why I was embarrassed to read it.
Oh, okie dokie.
Right?
Right. I mean, hey, I watched Grey's Anatomy, so like, can't judge too much.
I don't think it's in the same ballpark with
It really is, though.
Yeah.
That's all right.
For anyone curious of the creator, it is the same creator of Fushigi Yugi. So if you like that romance drama, get this. Okay, yeah, we're gonna please move on. I've embarrassed myself enough. Come on. Who's got the next story? Jason? Ricardo?
No,
Cass? Who's next?
I got TV one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so as we all know, John Krasinski came out with something called Some Good News, and it was a YouTube show that he started doing. He did 8 episodes. He gave us some good news, and the entire thing was just good news from around the world, just to put some good back into the world, including getting the cast of Hamilton together, getting a reunion of the cast of The Office. Sorry, I've been drinking Topo Chico. And apparently there was a massive bidding war to get this on TV. And the winner of this bidding war was Viacom CBS. So sometime over the summer, this will turn into a show for their CBS All Access. Krasinski will not continue to host the show, but he will executive produce it and will be on air in some sort of capacity, but he won't host it anymore. He wasn't so sure about putting it more out there, but they want to develop it more. And the entire show will be what it is. It's just going to be good news. No death, no murder, no destruction, no nothing. It's just going to be good news, and that's something we really desperately need. Is just to hear good news from what's going on around us. During its run on YouTube, John Krasinski did self-finance and self-produce each episode, and it's gonna be, like I said, on the CBS All Access sometime over this summer. They haven't selected a new host for it yet, and his YouTube channel subscribed up to 2.56 million subscribers, and had his episodes had up to 17 million views in just 2 months, which is, I think, bonkers.
This
So
makes me
yeah.
so angry. What have I been doing with my life for 7 years?
You said he's not going to host anymore?
He's not going to host it. They're going to get someone else to do it, but he will executive produce it, and he'll be on air in some sort of capacity, but not as the host.
That kind of sucks.
I mean, well, it depends who they get, or maybe they can
But I don't know. He created this thing. had his kids do the sign. Like everything about this show is so John Krasinski that it kind of sucks that it's changing.
Yeah.
It felt so, I don't know, homegrown. It
It
kind of sucks that that's changing.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But you know what? We're gonna get a news channel or a news segment that's gonna be good news, and
Yeah.
if it gets out there, I mean, it's really hard to get any bigger than YouTube. Kind of now, you have to pay for CBS All Access, all this kind of stuff. But it is what it is. But you know what? Good for him. He was able to do this for 8 weeks. He was able to reunite the cast of The Office. He was able to reunite the cast of Hamilton. He was able to just provide some sort of comfort and relief for all these people for 8 weeks. So
Good on him.
thank you.
All right, I think we got a little bit of television news left. I think the last one's going to have a little bit of discussion along with it. So what I do have is just something very simple and something I love. Speaking of something good, I love Muppets. I love Muppets. And it was announced during D23 that we will be getting a new Muppet show. It was going to be called Muppets Now, coming to Disney Plus. We do have a date on that. It is 31st of July. We will be getting new Muppet episodes. There'll be an initial 6-episode series, and Disney has described it as overflowing with spontaneous lunacy, surprising guest stars, and more frogs, pigs, and bears, and whatever's than legally allowed. So I love the old school Muppet Show with all of its celebrity guests and everything. And I know there's been attempts to kind of capture that magic, usually not as successfully as the original show, but I want this to be a success. And it's Disney. They got the money to drag in the really big stars. So bring it on. Bring me some Muppets. I love Muppets. 31st July. This is why Disney Plus is worth it, I guess. Give me more of this. I had another story, but it's not important. Cass, got some WB television news.
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about Batman in our time tonight, and how do I put this? The CW can't have Batman. So they have Batwoman. It's been played by Ruby Rose for a season, got renewed in January, I believe. But they announced earlier this week that Ruby Rose will not be returning as Batwoman next season. There's a lot of speculation right off the bat about why. She's talked a lot about her mental health issues in the past and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. So details are still coming out, and we're coming out as late as this afternoon. So I'm sure by the time this people are watching this on Friday, I'm sure there will be more information. But so far what we know is that it was due to working hours. A source close to her that's fairly reputable told Variety that this actually doesn't have anything to do with her back surgeries. Last year, she injured herself in the role. She had 2 herniated discs, but this is not about that. This is more about the working hours and her mental health. They compared it to a breakup. This was apparently not all Ruby Rose's decision. So she will not be returning to the role. They have already announced that they are looking for a new actress. They're going to recast the role. And they said not to worry, that they will be sure to cast an actress in the LGBTQ community. So this is a little bit sad. Ruby Rose was a very good, I think, fit for this part. I am absolutely not surprised that an actress that has been doing movies and kind of a modeling career for the last 6 or 7 years, I'm not surprised that she found the TV hours to be not great. She also apparently didn't like living in Vancouver, which for that I say, okay, you knew that you were going to have to live in Vancouver when you signed up for the role. But they are going to recast. This also does not seem to be due to the CW kind of halfway casting their Bruce Wayne for this universe. They did cast somebody. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but they cast somebody whose face is Bruce Wayne's. They have not cast Bruce Wayne. They cast Hush.
Yeah, right.
It's Hush. It's not Batman. So.
I mean, I thought Batwoman was okay. But I
honestly haven't watched any of it.
I always just felt she was a little too big for this role.
I was very surprised when she got cast because I thought the same thing.
Yeah. And honestly, I have issues with how she portrayed Miss Kane, but hey, I also have issues with the show of how they just get Batman out of the picture with, he's just not here. No, that's... Anyway, I get over that though.
It's the same problem Titans has. You can't build a show around the absence of a character.
Right, and I hate that, but... Yeah, and I have seen reports that, yeah, it was kind of a bit of a breakup and not altogether her decision. So,
yeah.
I hope they do cast somebody that's good for the show, but, you know, this could be a killer for this show, too.
It could. One actress that has officially thrown their hat into the ring is Brooklyn Nine-Nine Stephanie Beatriz.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would lose my mind. In order for that to happen, Rosa would have to leave the 9-9, and Stephanie would have to no longer be on that show, which would be heartbreaking. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine does not seem to be coming to a stop anytime soon. I think they were already renewed for one, if not two more. I think maybe two more seasons.
But
so
she wants it, huh?
She, in response to the news, she said she was reading up every Batwoman thing she could find. So,
wow. That's a hard one.
She's so perfect, though.
That's a hard one.
I would love her so much, but,
Yeah, but the alternative,
either Stephanie would have to leave Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or Brooklyn Nine-Nine would have to stop. So.
We'll just have to
real
wait
quick,
and see on that.
Bruce Wayne is played by Warren Christie of
Hopefully he's gotten better at acting in the last 8 years, because he was on Alphas and he was not good. Like, he just wasn't any good. And Alphas had several very good actors and several absolutely terrible actors. So
Wish them luck for whoever they cast. And yes, there is a perfect choice out there, but it would result in a horrible decision. So good luck.
they're going to have to completely rework that show. Are they? I don't know if they're just going to have somebody step in.
They should step in.
Just
Just
have
not address
Flash
it at
run
all.
through.
We got to pull a
Just have
Cheeto.
Flash run through and say it was something with the Speed Force, and it will just fix everything.
You know what? That is how they've fixed all their problems so far. So that's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, CW loves the Speed Force, and then they can do their tie-in stuff.
No, and that's not it, because I actually watched Justice League, the last DC animated movie in this universe, because it's reboot time over there too.
I need to go-
Is it really? Did they do that too?
They
I
are
need to go pick that up.
rebooting the animated universe.
Are they going with Rebirth, or
I don't know.
because they've been
I
following
don't
more or
like-
less New 52 for the last decade?
I can't say I'm a big fan of the new animation style, but the Justice League movie, I did like it. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I have problems with the ending. I mean, they went whatever. I probably should do a full review of that movie on the channel and just
You should.
overall I liked it. So yeah. But moving on, do have a little bit of video game news to close out the show. So apparently all of us being stuck inside has really driven video game sales to record-breaking levels.
Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we saw that Switches sold out everywhere. We couldn't get them. But consumer spending on video games, this is from Bloomberg, jumped to $10.9 billion in the first quarter. Research
How much?
from
Okay.
NPD Group did the report on this. That's a 9% increase from the year earlier. Yeah, jumped to in the first quarter, We spent $10.9 billion on video games. Top titles included things like Animal Crossing, Call of Duty. These are people who don't know anything about video games. Doom Eternal, Fortnite, which Fortnite's a free game, but hey, you know.
You know, those people that play Doom Eternal, those people that don't know anything about video games, right, Jason?
Yeah, let's not gatekeep video games,
Anyway.
please.
Stop, finger, stop, down. Game hardware sales went up 2%, $773 million, and accessory sales, $503 million.
Wow.
All the video game companies are doing really well across the board. Activision Blizzard, up 23% this year. Electronic Arts, 8.9. Take-Two Interactive, 7.4. The video game companies are making money hand over fist. And yeah, so I know I bought a couple of games and I didn't realize that this is what we were reduced to. So all the people working from home, I'm telling you right now, they're playing video games, okay? I'm just letting you know. We're pausing and then doing our meetings, so just saying.
I have had several friends tell me, yeah, they sit there playing video games and they just move the mouse to make it seem like they're working.
I mean, works. What do you want? So yeah, we are.
Must be nice.
I am anxious though. That was for this previous quarter. I want to see what it is in the one that's not done yet.
I'm
Oh boy.
with all this money that we're spending right now on video games. Imagine when the new Xbox and the PS5 come out.
I mean, we'll probably still be stuck inside. Why not? So
yeah, it's gonna be even more. Do you think?
So the money is flowing, and everybody in the video game world is making money. And anybody out of work, go work for a video game company and doing something.
Buy some stock in Nintendo and Electronic Arts and Blizzard and all this other stuff.
All right, Cash, you got the last story of the night, and it is on a favorite subject of mine.
Speaking of a video game that you're about to spend your money on, the news of The Last of Us 2 has been coming out fairly steadily, which is not abnormal for a game that's about to come out. They made an announcement a couple of days ago that you are not going to be able to fully upgrade Ellie on a single playthrough. They said that this was to make a noticeable and tangible impact of your decisions. Your decisions will have consequences. So you're not going to be able to build up Ellie in all the different ways. You are going to have very distinct builds of Ellie. So if you increase, kind of the same thing with D&D, if you increase strength, dexterity is not going to go up, stuff like that. But not only player upgrades, but your weapon upgrades. You will not be able to do all of them throughout a single playthrough. I am slightly curious if you're going to be able to do kind of like God of War with the Game Plus. Games have started doing that more and more. If not, then it's going to be a little bit difficult on those that like to platinum, those that like to 100%, because we're going to be slightly frustrated that we can't upgrade her all the way. But I absolutely support this decision for a game of this type. This is a survival game. This is supposed to be a rough, grindy, just absolutely balls to the wall game. And so this decision seems absolutely in line with everything else that we know about The Last of Us and the way The Last of Us 1 was played.
I mean, I want replayability in a game I buy. And how many times have I played through The Last of Us? A couple.
It's going to enhance that in so many ways. You could have completely different versions of the game that you play. I know I love to enhance sneak ability over strength, but maybe I'll try one where I just brute force through the game. It'd be so interesting.
I mean, we all have games. Like, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I want all my weapons gold. I need to be level 40. I need people to run in fear, for here I come. When I played Fallout 4, I don't even know what level I was in that game. My wife referred to me as Wasteland Jesus. Because, like, there was one day I'm playing and, like, a Deathclaw jumps out. And she's like, oh, and it was like 5 feet away, and I'm just like, bam, 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 and it's dead. I'm like, oh yeah, I upgraded my rifles all the way. So I need to be Uber on my second run through of any game. I'm ready to be Uber. Okay. They get after some of the enemies have given you so much crap, it's a joy to go back and kill them with 1 or 2 hits, okay?
Dude, seriously, I can't even describe my delight the first time that a clicker came up to me and I just stabbed it in the face. Like,
Click that mother. Just
come at me.
You're in fear of them. That damn
Exactly.
noise, and you got to
You think
hide. I ain't hiding.
You think
today.
you think I'm stuck in this abandoned mall with you? You're stuck in here with me.
It is, yeah. Second playthroughs of games are our revenge, if anything. So bring it on.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, you were gonna say something, Cora? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say in that same vein with MMOs, it's like it's not the same because you don't have a second playthrough. I mean, you do, but it's not that level.
Yeah.
But going to the starting areas once you hit max level and finding the like random monster that always killed you constantly, and you can just one shot it and watch its corpse like disappear, and you're just like, yes, who's the god now?
So bring it on. If that just means I'm going to be playing more of Last of Us 2, then okay. Well,
It's shaped
darn.
to be an amazing game.
I'm so anxious and just ready with the new trailer and everything. Just, anyway, what's our release date for Last of Us this month? Right, next month.
Ooh, June. Hold on. That I did not look up. Hold on.
I had it for last show, but you'll know because y'all ain't gonna hear much from me that day. So anyway,
May 29th.
May 29th. Okay.
Is that accurate?
That's
Hold on.
next week.
Is that right? Is that right? June 19th. June 19th.
June 19th. Okay.
Okay, I was like, no.
So we do have one
June
announcement. I know people out there. I'm gonna, of course, put this on our social media pages and everything because I want y'all to have a chance to win. This is for watching SCNS Live, but we're doing a little giveaway, just a little something, something. And I thought it would be. Let me move that game picture that I put up there. A nice figure of the man, Stan Lee. They released him in a 6-inch scale action figure. You'll get this lovely box, and it is pristine, straight from Hasbro Pulse, Excelsior, nice and shiny. He's got a shield and a little chessboard, and just, it looks great. So, yeah, if you want to win a Stan Lee figure, follow us on the social media platforms. That's facebook.com/SCNS Live. On Instagram and Twitter at SCNS Live, and find out how you can win this. It'll be shipped out to you, economy ship. No, I'll ship it out fast. So anyway, you want to win a Stan Lee because I think everybody should have this figure on their shelf. If you love comic books, it's an honor of the man. I've got one already, but I got an extra, and I want to send this out to somebody that loves our show, loves the comics. So yeah, get your Stan Lee figure. Details coming probably tomorrow morning on how you can win. And I'm not gonna. It's gonna be simple. If you subscribe, if you watch, you're gonna get the figure. So I ain't gonna make you do a bunch of crap or answer some trivia questions. You're gonna get it. So
You have to write us an essay.
no, absolutely
Okay.
On why you deserve the figure.
No, I want a full history essay, not 5 paragraph. I need 5 pages on the history of Marvel Comics and their impact on society. Wow, I don't know what that voice was, but I'm sorry.
not. Yeah, that was.
It was every girl that was mean to me in high school.
There it is. There it is.
So anyway, guys, that is our show. Of course, follow us on those socials. You can figure out how you're going to win that figure. But if you want to follow us individually, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX. Rick?
You can find me on Instagram under NerdyRick89. I'm doing the 366-day challenge. Today was day 141. Also, shout out to my friend Roz. Together, we are actually doing a cosplay for next year. She will be Marco from Lost Boys, and I will be Dwayne from Lost Boys. That's why I'm growing my hair out and working out so I can get in that Lost Boys vampire bod.
All right, Cass, where you at?
You can find me on Instagram at the Good Cast or the Bad Cast, depending on what quality of content you enjoy. You can also find me on Twitter at the Good Cast, currently complaining about how hard Hollow Knight is. You can find Kat and I at Doa Drawings, where we make really just absolutely the worst cartoons about things Overwatch League casters say.
And Cora, where can they find you?
All right. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CorodonoArt. I sometimes post artwork on Instagram. I kind of forget to do that. And on Twitter, it's mostly for some artwork, but mostly Suikoden related retweets. So if you're into that, please talk to me. I need friends.
Suikoden.
But
Screaming into the void.
you can also find me on chaotic_noodle on Twitter if you want to see my hot takes on Final Fantasy XIV and all of my fun screenshots. Oh, also on Twitter, sometimes I post about my baking adventures.
Hey. Oh, I'm also retweeting or live tweeting my way through Avatar.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, guys. Well, that is our show. We'll be back next week. We are going to be filming alternate heads this weekend, and I have a large number of toy reviews to get through. So content for that will be coming next week. Anyway, that is our show. Thank you guys out there for joining us in the Super Cool Nerd Nation. We'll see you around. And as we always say around here, keep on
nerding.
Nerding.
What's double or nothing?
Remember to eat your brownie batter. It's delicious.
Mm.